Hey everyone, it's your reInvent hype man here, Rudy Chetty, and I'm joined by Jan Metzner.
Hey guys, happy to be here.
So Jan, tell me, you guys are doing a lot of stuff in the industrial IoT space. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's super exciting. We have a lot of factories actually. Our customers have a lot of factories and they want to connect it and get the data out, and there's a lot of potential to optimize actually, and kind of interesting, and you have so nice stuff there.
Oh yeah, you got to tell me about the robot. I mean, I'm just watching it here, and we're trying to mimic some of the moves here.
Yeah, I mean, what is really exciting is obviously robots, because they are kind of interesting to connect to. Apart from robots, of the other devices are in the factory, but connecting to robots is a little bit tricky. Yeah? Obviously, they need to move in real time, as you see. So it's definitely possible with our solutions. But yeah, we managed to do that. We have actually a whole showcase in the area to show this. And if you want to show this, go to the area. Yeah? We connected this one to AWS IoT Greengrass to really have not control, but we are actually pushing the positions to the robot and have actually also the data into the cloud.
Oh wow, okay, so it's running AWS IoT Greengrass, that's what you said.
Well,
sorry, it's running edge computing, let's say.
Well, the problem with industrial is you need to have some local compute, right? Because you want to actually run your factory even if you don't have internet connection, right?
Yeah.
And you also need to have a way to connect to the devices. They will not talk to the cloud per se, okay? From networking perspective, there are a few things. So you need to have a gateway software like Greengrass, yeah? And furthermore, you need to connect to certain different protocols. I mean, all those guys talk different protocols. So you need to have a way to connect to it, which we do, and we can immediately get the data out. So we have a way to analyze actually the movements and get the data, but we need to have it stored locally and processed locally and then move it to the cloud.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, and also with latency, I assume, as well, right?
Well, you cannot really control an industrial side from the cloud. You can send, let's say, optimization things down. You can compute a machine learning model in the cloud and send the machine learning model down for inference. So this is really what happens. In our showcase, we have an industrial camera with a SageMaker model to actually execute it locally in the camera, actually. But it's computed in the cloud, so we need to send the data in the cloud at some point, yeah?
Yeah, okay. And we also have other services in the AWS IoT portfolio. And I'm thinking maybe, is it Sitewise that might be useful in this case?
Well, there are a bunch of services, obviously. Most importantly is you need to get the connection to the industrial equipment, but you not only need to have the data, you need to have the metadata, you need to know how the data is modeled. And Sitewise, yeah, you're totally right. Sitewise is a way to actually connect the industrial assets, store the data locally on the gateway, and then actually batch it up to the cloud. And in the cloud, you can do fancy things. Yeah, you can analyze, okay, what's happening, and do some calculations, and maybe eventually you build some machine learning models. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. I mean, speaking of all these kind of industrial automation, I also did a breakout session earlier today with Amazon, and they talked about how they're using Greengrass in the fulfillment centers. So, I mean, if you haven't checked that out yet, I would recommend checking out the YouTube recording when it comes out. But in general, what kind of advice do you have for people who are trying to get started with this kind of industrial automation?
Well, first advice, just do it. Huh? Second, okay, you need to think about it still, because you need to make it right? You need to be correct on the security. You need to have a gateway and funnel the data to the cloud, as well as connect to the industrial assets. You need to be secure, so our solution has security built in from the ground. It has the same security as we have in the cloud, so quite good. So once you have the connectivity, everything is super smooth, yeah? It depends a little bit on the protocol, so you need to know where to start there, but you start with Greengrass, you need to have an industrial PC install Greengrass. There's a super smooth workflow, and maybe start with Sitewise to explore a little bit if you have an OPC server. If not, use plain Greengrass, and we have some different connectors to different protocols, and you're done. You can analyze the data easily.
Yeah. And what kind of connectors, like OPC UA or?
Well, we have OPC-UA, we have Modbus. There are some, let's say, strange protocols out there where you need to write your own adapter. It's kind of easy with Lambda. It's similar to writing code in the cloud. You write the code actually in the cloud and deploy it down to Greengrass. So that's kind of cool, right?
Yeah, I think it's fantastic. I mean, the fact that you can update these older protocols in the way of converting it and then putting it up to the cloud. I mean, anything else that you can tell us about this robot? I mean, it's been moving the whole time, and I'm amazed that it hasn't actually asked one of us to pick up that tag from it.
Well, it's not talking.
It's not talking. Is that version 2?
I need to talk to this guy. So this Robert from Frankfurt, actually, in the same town where I'm based. Let's see what we can do. Yeah, but obviously it could actually give me the tag. Yeah. Okay. We have a complete workflow. It's harder to replicate this here on stage.
Okay.
But the most important thing is, yeah, you will be able to connect that and bring the data to the cloud.
Okay, well, thanks for joining us, Jan. And let's close out by dancing like robots.